an interpersonal battlefield, and it's likely not getting any less complicated. Along with competition and predatory behavior, there's a new online dynamic to contend with as well. Status updates and ideas spread at the speed of light on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and what seems like a new social network that pops up every other week. But so does the hate, judgment, negativity, and all the behaviors that rear their ugly heads out from behind a computer screen. Take Carol, who always tattles about your workplace performance to the boss because she wants your job, or the room full of high-powered doctors or executives at the end-of-year work party you want to rub elbows with but are too intimidated to even approach. Then there's finding a way to gracefully recover from totally flubbing a lecture in front of 36 colleagues because your PowerPoint presentation crashed. We haven't even gotten to the World Wide Web yet either, where it takes just seconds for someone to Google your name and a few more to spew out some nasty trolling remarks meant to hurt your feelings and get in the way of your success. How are you supposed to move up the ladder when all of these factors are trying to keep you down? As women, I know we're constantly being told to speak up, lean in, be a badass, and go unfuck ourselves, and represent the hashtag #MeToo movement. We absolutely should. We must. But we have to execute these things in the right way. Here's a secret. You don't have to be the most talented, the smartest, the most attractive, or even the most skilled person at your job to get what you want out of your career and in life. I'm definitely not any of those and have very mediocre SAT scores, C chemistry grades, and remedial math classes to prove that. Being promoted at almost every job I've had has nothing to do with knowing the square root of pi. So let's do it better. In this book, you'll learn the hard-earned skills of mastering communication with the world and with yourself. With the tools I provide you, you'll be able to tackle it all. Whether you're fresh out of college, accepting your first job at a law firm, or a seasoned manager ready for a new career breakthrough, you'll learn how to master the basic interactions nobody taught you in corporate training, or even talks about, period. You'll learn that these micro-interactions are actually what build our reputations and credibility and ultimately shape our careers. Each chapter will take you through one of the most common workplace challenges and show you how to use communication to successfully navigate that challenge. The right kind of communication will create new opportunities, empower you, and give you the self-assuredness needed to accomplish whatever your goals are in your career, all without years of having to wear a dorky dental night guard like I did. So, are you ready? Let's dive in. Chapter 1. Reacting 101. Sounds basic, but it's everything. Yeah, we've all heard the sayings about reactions to events. Loose lips sink ships. Think before you speak. Never let them see you cry or sweat. I am woman, hear me roar. To some extent, these things are true. It's probably not a good idea to talk about your manager's foul egg salad body odor to his assistant, or to call out the IT guy as a creeper when he holds your hand in a handshake a little too long. But we'll get to that part later. Ladies, you already know this. But what we don't realize is that every encounter we have in the workplace is like a performance review, and that review may not come from our bosses, but from our peers and those who are watching these interactions happen. We are constantly being judged on our abilities to get along with others and be trustworthy and valuable to the organization. The magic of communicating to get the success you want starts with identifying the reactions of others so you can properly respond yourself. Because half the battle in staying alive, we can talk about thriving after we've figured out just how to survive in a workplace chock full of people with varying opinions, skill levels, and backgrounds, is learning how to react to the odd, awkward, and downright crappy situations and interactions that may come your way. Excuse me, what did you just say? How to deal. As I was growing up in a traditional Chinese household, my parents taught me it was best to avoid ruffling feathers in the face of adversity. I think this came from their early years in the United States when they feared being deported. They would tell me cliffhanger stories of their first few years living in Texas before I was born and how neighbors would throw eggs at their windows and call out to them using racial slurs. I'd beg, "Then what happened, Ma?" which almost always resulted in an anticlimactic response of, "Nothing," and it was on to the next topic. In their eyes, keeping my head down, working hard, and doing my best would always yield success. As a chemist, my dad was the perfect bookworm in school, who studied hard and then regularly worked 12-hour days to advance his